No.
I was just going to sit at home watching this all day long.
It's my weekend, isn't it?
Okay, is plus 10 foot. I think it's around about 450 degrees, but it's nowhere near enough basically. So if I put around about 450 degrees, and Z7 is quenched plus tempered, and that one's at 680 degrees Celsius. Okay, and the material is 0.4% carbon steel. Okay. So although it's a medium carbon steel, it's actually quite a low, it's not a particularly high range medium steel, it's one of the lower ones.
Does the heat and normalized process increase the recrystallization temperature on a material?
Yeah, oh right, the recrystallization temperature, well this is well above that. This is way, way above the recrystallization temperature. Because what you're talking about is when you hot and cold work things, with this we're actually taking it way above that. So yes, so we're going really beyond that crystallization temperature, and then we're doing the heat treatment. Okay, the recrystallization temperature is much, much, much lower. Okay, and that's when you just want to anneal something. Okay, so another heat treatment, which is called annealing, that is when you do that on when you cold work components and also on castings. But that is a completely different thing to quenching and tempering. Okay, the annealing process. If you think about stuff like fence wire, what they do with that is when they make it is they draw it out. Okay, so it becomes stronger, but it also becomes quite brittle and it fracture easily. So they then have to chuck it in the oven and anneal it. Okay. And then that way it softens it up a bit, and then they can do a bit more cold working, and then they go through this process of cold working, anneal, cold working, more annealing, until you end up with a nice strong product, but it's also been stretched out. Okay. Castings, they have to also be annealed, but that's a completely different ball game. That I can't really go into that now because it's quite complicated, really. Okay. But quenching and tempering is for medium and high carbon steels, things like tool steels, hacksaw blades. Sometimes engine components as well, not always, but some of them. Okay, and that is carried out to improve the toughness of the parts. Okay, and this is on medium carbon steels. There are other materials you can do heat treatments, but they're a little bit different. Things like titanium, aluminium, alloys. You can also heat treat them, but it's a little bit of a different area. That. Okay, we just focus on steels today. Okay, so any other questions? Because I think we've covered what we need to cover. It's really, I don't know how long they want to spend here, or if they're quite happy to take all their stuff and go back and disseminate it back at your